Welcome back to the 100th episode here on League Unlock. Eric and Mark joining you guys today, and we just talked about the amazing 2018 that the Chinese scene and the LPL has had. Well, 2018 for Riot Games has been pretty much the opposite of that. It has been a lot of criticism, a lot of mistakes that they have admittedly made, and everyone's saying it's a dying game. League's a dying game. RIP, RIP. It's dead.
If the LPL and Uzi and RNG have done nothing but win this year, Riot Games has done nothing but lose. They've done everything possible to lose any situation they've been in.
If the LPL got an S+ in the post game, what does Riot get? A D?
D-.
D? Can you get a D-?
D-, 0.01 CS per minute. Just you're.
I didn't know you could get D-.
Reported for AFK. Wow. You're reporting them for AFK,
yes.
Even though you saw them in every single team fight, just feeding.
But you didn't fail because Riot Games can't fail. But let's just look at overall some of the issues that Riot has gone through here in 2018, because there's been a lot to choose. It obviously started in the preseason.
Oh boy, that's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yikes.
Community was mad about balance issues and the changes to marksman.
Yeah, I was mad about that one.
Most people were. And then we move on to some of the marquee events in early Season 8. The spring finals go to a 2,000 capacity theater in Miami. People were disappointed by that, thought it was a step backwards.
Yeah, I defended that one at the time, given what we knew about the situation, and now finding out a little bit more about Riot's plans for scaling back the budget seems a lot more questionable and seems to ruin the experience quite a bit.
Speaking of ruined experiences, group stage at MSI at the EULCS studio in Berlin. You thought 2,000 people in a theater was smaller? How about 200?
Bruh,
if that.
You know what? If you're doing this for some little, side weekend tournament you're going to add on, Rift Rivals, sure. Throw it in the group stage, in the LCS studio. MSI group stage? Nuh-uh. You take this somewhere special, not in your own little studio in Berlin. Come on, Riot.
Clash, everyone was hyped about it. Fans were really excited to get to play it. It gets delayed, and then Riot just says, nope, never mind.
Yeah,
didn't work.
But finding out about it being canceled is just the worst, because I remember waiting for it to play with my friends and having the buggy experience like everyone else did, but thinking, hey, this was kind of cool, pretty fun experience, ready to do it again, and then getting all prepared for the next Clash weekend and having it be canceled and ruining a whole Friday afternoon, just brutal, and then now it's canceled. Oh,
we
don't
know.
Get it together.
Maybe it'll come back. They haven't really did any announcements on that. The harassment and toxic work environment claims towards Riot Games, they've already made plenty of statements regarding that. The World's venues, it was almost a month before the tournament starts, and Riot said that we basically had to settle for Plan C, which is the venues that we've got here going for 2018 Worlds. And then they said the casters will be remote broadcasting for the entire group stage, quarterfinals, and semis. They're only going to be sending a crew out there for the finals. They will have interviewers there, so Shox and Ovely will be there throughout the event. But most of the casting will be done in LA.
Yeah, certainly these last kind of 3 or 4 bullet points are the more serious ones that have hurt Riot and hurt the League of Legends community this year, given what's been going on and how it shapes up there. When you're talking about, the toxic culture and the harassment that happened with Riot Games, this is something that certainly needed to be addressed, and thankfully we see some changes being made. Now, of course, we need to follow up diligently on these changes being made and make sure that real change is made and is felt at Riot amongst their employees and elsewhere. But then talking about this decision for Worlds and how we ended up with Plan C here is just simply unacceptable. To announce this late what the events are going to be, given that last year you knew as soon as February where it was going to be, when it was going to be in China, and it's just ridiculous that it took as late as it did this year to get some Plan C type of venues. Yes, they're mostly okay and they're mostly fitting up to the bill of what you would need to have to follow up with the fantastic job you did presenting Worlds last year, but it certainly then becomes a harder task to equal that presentation when you're having your live staff be held back in Los Angeles for this event. I tell you, as somebody who lives on the Korean and Chinese time schedule, living away from where the sun cooperates with that time, I'm telling you, it's hard to be excited about things at the right times of the day and things like that. And so it's certainly going to be hard for these casters to be getting hyped up and following the live crowd reaction to these plays when they're casting these games all the way in LA at a totally different time.
And there is some precedent here. They've done this at events before, whether it's a North American squad or out in Korea. They also would do this when the events weren't in Korea. And I mean, it works to some degree, and there's been some positives that guys like Jat said on the dive, where they'll be able to create better content because they're in their home housing where they have their official analyst desk and other stuff that they can do. But still, the hype and excitement is not going to be there, and that's what Worlds 2018 is all about. So we're talking about these budget cuts. What can Riot do? Why do they need these budget cuts? The main ones that people have called out, and rightfully so, are obviously sponsorships. Jersey Mike's is not enough. It's not a big enough cash cow, apparently.
We got the State Farm analyst desk. Come on, guys.
And that is literally the only 2 sponsors that the LCS has had. And of course, even simple things like let people sub to you on Twitch. Riot Games has over 1 billion views, 1 billion with a B, on their Twitch channel, and you can't sub.
They had a partnership with a company called BAMTech, who was responsible for Major League Baseball's online platform. That gets cut. We were expecting to see some type of service that you could pay maybe, $2, $4 extra per month, and you'd be able to watch different players' point of view streams, certain things you could engage with chat a little bit differently. A lot of great features that sounded wonderful, and then all of a sudden, cut, and it's moved off to now, hey, League of Legends, you're going to be on ESPN's platform. Oh yeah, but you have to pay for it. And who's going to pay to watch it online on ESPN when you can watch it free on YouTube or Twitch?
Nobody.
Why?
Nobody will.
Crazy.
And by the way, when you're watching these streams, watch it on LOL Esports over Twitch, because they've got live stats that are actually pretty sweet. It has the built-in YouTube player, so you can go back and forth between live and not, because that's a kind of big issue that Twitch has. So it's nice to go back and forth and be able to do that.
And also, you get away from the boosted monkeys talking in Twitch chat all the time. Because, hey, sometimes that's part of the entertainment, but sometimes you need to focus in on the game. You cut them out, head to LOL Esports.
Yes, sometimes Twitch chat is a disaster. But now Riot, I mean, what do they do going forward? Clearly, they're shelling out all their money and putting it on cinematics. And I think, here's my theory, Mark. I think a lot of this money that they've been putting out is towards whatever game that they're working on, and they're just kind of dialing it back on esports to work on this game. Because you know how much money this cinematic is?
Is this what you really believe, or is this what you want to believe that Riot's doing? Because I want to believe
this is so much money.
All this money is going to the eventual Runeterra MMO. That's what I want to see. Finally coming from Riot Games, putting that S in Riot Games. But I don't know, I think this is just them flexing their muscles, saying, hey, Rise is pretty cool. Let's tell a story
There's a reason we rework him every year.
Let's tell a story where he kind of plays like Thanos, but a good guy Thanos. That's pretty popular with the kiddos nowadays, right? But
so who's Spider-Man in this?
Yeah. They brought Sona to please all the e-girls, so it's fine.
Right.
But in honesty, this is a really cool cinematic, and it's a great addition to the League of Legends universe. And this content is needed and wanted by League of Legends fans, but this should not be coming at the expense of the budget for whatever your world championship event will be. Is simply unexpected from the fans and unacceptable to do as well.
Well, the main thing is Riot for 2018, a year to forget, and they're going to be looking to improve in 2019 in pretty much all categories.